Hello guys, it's Cav here with another video, and today it ain't a review, but I definitely want to mention a tank that's worthy of your attention, which is the Hory T1. I think it's T1, not T-I. I think so. Anyway, this is a tier 8 Japanese tank destroyer from the Hory line, and I gotta give props to Wargaming because they've done a superb job at acclimating the players to the tier 10 gameplay. Starting on tier 7, tier 8 and tier 9, they get gradually more similar to the tier 10. So when you get the tier 10, it's not completely an alien gameplay. So you kind of already know it from the tiers below, and it makes it easier for the player, doesn't it? It makes sense. It's a line that makes sense. That's what I like to say. But anyway, why is the Hory T1 so good, and why am I mentioning it? Well, it's literally a mini Hory on tier 8, literally. Not just because of the name, but also gameplay and armor profile and all that. Well, it has a very troll armor, it has a good mobility and an extremely good gun. As you guys know, if you follow my channel, I really enjoy aggressive tank destroyers. I'm not a fan of camping, but if you gotta do it, do it. You gotta do what you can to win. But I really enjoy being aggressive and having flexibility, and I think the Hory gives us that. It has a good and very decent armor, more troll than anything else. You can't be penned easily, but it's very troll, and if you wiggle it around, it can be very hard for the enemy to pen, especially if it's like a medium or a light tank that usually has less penetration. 81% camouflage, that's insane. This tank has a 120mm gun, and it has 81% camouflage. That's pretty good. And I know the stationary camouflage has nothing to do with the gun, but you know, still, you have crazy potential on that alpha, and you can stay hidden for that long. It's insane to me. Of course, when you fire, you got 18%, but yeah, still. 2700 DPM, 8-second reload, and 400 alpha. Very good values of penetration right here, so you won't struggle. 45 kilometers an hour forward, 15 backwards. And like I said, this ain't a review, but this is what I'm using as an equipment if you're interested. But yeah, I will definitely bring a review. Oops, I don't want to actually play it much, but I will definitely bring a review for you guys on the Hory line soon. I'm working towards it, don't worry. Well, on the first match, we're going to be on Vineyards, and I want to show two types of gameplays with this tank, passive and aggressive. First match will be passive, right? What I like to do with this tank is, like with any support tank, first of all, be passive. Let the information pop up in the map. See what you can do. What are your options? Then if you can't be aggressive, then, well, good news, be aggressive. This is where this tank shines the most, when it's being aggressive. But you can't just be aggressive just for the sake of being aggressive. You gotta do it in the right way. So I'm letting my projectile spot, and I'm gonna take advantage of that IS-3 defender crossing with no cover. Well, that's 437 damage dealt right at the start of the game, but as you can see, I'm not really liking how this game is looking. I was trying to aim for that T-34. I'm actually going to aim at that Bulldog, snapshot him. By the way, this tank is great at snapshots, just like the Hory on tier 10. I am definitely not liking this situation. I'm going to pen that projectile. I'm gonna bounce him again. We already bounced 600 damage, but I need to back up because enemy team is being extremely aggressive. My team, as you can see, let me pause this. If you can look at the map here, down here, we got two heavy tanks on town doing nothing. We got a T-29 on spawn. Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? Well, anyway, let's carry on. Hory has decent gun depression as well. I don't remember how much. I think it's 8 if I'm not wrong. 7 or 8, we gotta check after the match. But yeah, I'm trying to back up without getting shot at. I don't want to lose more HP than I already have, unfortunately. Can't avoid it. There's that Bulldog, that pesky Bulldog. Tried to shoot while moving on that projectile, didn't work, but that's fine. I got into cover, kind of, but still, he ain't great. I'm being focused by that Bulldog. He doesn't really have the best of penetration values, so he is struggling against me. But still, look, we backed up enough where I can breathe a little bit, right? My team is still on town. I don't know what they're doing and why they're taking this long, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm gonna try to hold off as much as I can. If only my heavies were a little bit faster at making decisions, it would have been a much easier match. But yeah, it looks like I'm almost by myself here. I got a projectile there that the enemy team is gonna focus, a T29 that I think is AFK. Yeah, it's not looking great, is it? But either way, you can see this gun is not missing, man. If you miss, it's usually because you haven't aimed properly, but accuracy-wise is great, very reliable. Damage-wise is 400 alpha, so you can't get that wrong. And yeah, we're gonna shoot that projectile once more, and I'm just trying to really make these tanks bleed, so maybe I could have a chance of surviving. If it wasn't for that elephant, I would have survived this match for sure. Problem is, elephant is pretty much full HP, well, not anymore, but still, and I just don't have the means to deal with him. We're gonna shoot him once, potentially a one shot now, but you know, we got a projectile that's a 2-shot, we got a defender that's a 1-shot, and man, if it wasn't for that elephant, I could have dealt with that projectile maybe. But yeah, still Bulldog, IS3 defender, we just got too much on our hands. And yeah, unfortunately we got a K2 here on the shards, and yeah, they're not gonna do a very good job. They could have won because everyone's like literally a 1-shot, but they won't. It's gonna be a draw. Yeah, they didn't really work as a platoon. One was on one side, the other one was on the other side, and yeah, it was a draw. But still, look, I think we did decent considering our situation there. That's 3,600 damage, 1,200 blocked, which is very impressive for a tank destroyer. Usually tank destroyers are not known for their armor. Yeah, this is one you can actually rely a little bit on the armor, but don't get too drunk on the armor because it won't work every time, right? Now, second match is on Normandy, and I want to show you the aggressive capabilities of this tank. Yeah, this is where it shines, this is where it's the most fun, in my opinion, and I really like that this tank can be flexible between passive and aggressive. It really gives you room to do your gameplay, right? You're not stuck at the back of the map depending on your team solely. You can actually do a little bit yourself, right? And this is another tier 8 match, and that means I can build a tiny bit more aggressive than if it was a tier 9 match. Of course, usually if you're against higher tier tanks, you gotta be more passive, but not on this one. We're gonna deal with a mill, HWK, a Object 252, P44 Pantera, T69, TS60, and a WZ120. That's another aggressive tank destroyer right there. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna carry on with our gameplay. I was on the right hand side, just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, and I'm seeing it looks like a majority of the enemy team will be on the left hand side. I could be wrong, but I'm making my decision to advance because I got a Tiger 2 and a KV4 advancing as well. And I plan to use these guys as my shield, my armor in a way, but I also intend to be aggressive at the same time. If you're able to do this, happy days, you will have a lot of fun and you will perform really good if you can use your teammates as a shield on the battlefield when you're a support tank, right? So yeah, there we go. WZ just killed himself. That's a great example of not how to be aggressive. That dude just charged in, and look what that got him. Nothing. He's just dead. Now I'm loading premium rounds, of course, to get through that Emil's turret. That's why I'm rolling quite low, but yeah, there we go. 313. We're on 1200 damage. It's not bad. It's not bad considering the match just started, and I'm gonna finish this Emil off. Very good. Now there's that HWK. He bounced us, and we're still full HP, meaning I actually feel confident in advancing, and here's where I start being aggressive. I'm actually confident that I can isolate 1 or 2 tanks and just deal with them. I know the 252 is on the left, I know the Pantera is on the left, so yeah, HWK run away, and this T69 is by himself. Well, that's not gonna go well for him. We're gonna shoot him and ram him. Oh yes, and he can't even pen us. Poor guy. Yeah, it's not like this tank is OP armor-wise, but it's troll enough that if you wiggle it, you can make enemies' life very difficult, right? And I think that T69 didn't like that. Oh well, go back to your garage, mate. Let me do my work here. You go back and pick another tank. Yeah, we're gonna finish off the Pantera. Good stuff. Happy days. And we're gonna shoot this 252 for 500 damage. Oh, very nice. And we're gonna ram him a little bit as well. Okay, good stuff. We are only left with that HWK-30, a cheap copy of the RU, which is, I think, is a bit even worse than the actual RU. But anyway, he thinks he can run away, but he forgot my tank is actually quite capable and very accurate. Yeah, it was a great match, very fun match. This is what I play Blitz for, to have matches like these. Yeah, Hory T1, or just Hory, you know, whatever you want to call it. That's an ace tanker, quite cheap, no one really plays the tank. And this is a video saying that if you don't have this tank or you don't play it, mate, take the dust off it and play it. It's an extremely fun tank. This game is not just about premium OP tanks. You got a big variety for a reason, my friend. Enjoy what you have and what you can get for free. Anyway, I'll be leaving you guys on this one. If you do enjoy videos like these, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and sharing. It does help out the channel quite a lot. But anyway, I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.